At the end of May, Chairman Johnson, Senator Hassan, and I were together visiting the U.S.-Mexican border. And on that trip, we saw firsthand the tremendous challenges that the Department of Homeland Security personnel and local communities are facing at the southern border. It's clear that our infrastructure and our personnel are overwhelmed. Resources are stretched thin and are being shifted away from other priorities like the northern border. And our capacity to address the humanitarian needs of children and families is overburdened. Despite those difficulties, we witnessed hardworking law enforcement officers, public servants, volunteers, and civic leaders all doing their very best to manage a very difficult situation. At the same time, it is impossible to ignore the reports and the images that have emerged regarding substandard conditions and unacceptable treatment and tragic deaths of children at some customs and border protection locations. And I'm also alarmed at the reports that we have seen regarding unprofessional and unacceptable conduct from a small number of Border Patrol agents. The situation at our southern border is, of course, incredibly challenging. It is clear that our current system is not equipped to process and care for the unprecedented number of families and children seeking asylum at the southern border. Some of the images that we have seen and the stories we have heard, I believe, do not reflect the overall efforts of the Customs and Border Protection folks, the hardworking men and women who secure our borders, and they certainly do not reflect the values of this great nation. But it is clear that there are significant challenges on the ground, and to some extent, problems within the agency's culture that must be swiftly and adequately addressed. In recent weeks, we have seen a decline in the number of migrants arriving along the southern border. The pressure appears to be decreasing, at least temporarily. This drop has helped ease overcrowding at many border facilities. Billions of dollars in supplemental funding has enabled DHS to improve their response to these challenges. And today, I hope this committee will hear specifics on how those additional taxpayer dollars are being used. However, as members of this committee know, much of the migration that occurs from Mexico and the Northern Triangle countries is seasonal. This fall, we can expect to see the number of arrivals rise again. We now have an opportunity to examine where we have failed and where we have succeeded and put lessons into practice. We need innovative ideas to improve migrant processing, to relieve the strain on our frontline border security professionals and other agencies that have provided support services in recent months, and to keep our borders secure and our country safe. Few issues we face are as complex as this one, but today I hope we can find common ground, identify bipartisan solutions, and deliver real comprehensive results for the American people. I'd like to thank our witnesses for being here today, and I look forward to your testimony and responding to our questions. Thank you, Mr. Chairman.
Thanks, Senator Peters.